We have a flow here for standing and quadruped work for the low back pain. All right, we're gonna start in standing. Go ahead and find a comfortable standing position, and you're gonna bring one heel up towards your bum. If it feels good to snag it with that hand, you can grab it and then bring it back down. We'll go alternating sides. Feeling a little stretch across the front of the hip, across the quad here. Moving between sides and making sure to layer in some breath work here as well. Option to add in some movement of the opposite hand, if that feels good, to make a bit more expansion in your body. And working through any balance points. We'll go one more on each side. Good. And then from here, standing on one foot, opposite knee comes in. I'm going to do it without hands, out to the side, and then down. So you're kind of thinking about making a circle with that kneecap. Keeping yourself nice and centered on the standing leg, and allowing that hip to move freely from side to side and the front. Go one more in that direction, and then switch sides. Opposite knee to the front, side, and down. I'm just finding maybe there's a little bit of a balance difference from side to side here, but you're really continuing to still push through that whole foot, big toe, pinky toe, and heel. Do one more in that direction. Going back to your original side, this time you're going to open out. So you're spinning that inseam forward, lifting the knee, coming to center. And we'll do it in that direction a couple of times. Again, allowing the hip that's moving to be pretty free and easy, and your standing leg is the one that's working here to keep you tall and upright. And we'll go one more in that direction. Hands can be wherever they're comfortable. And if at any point you do want to give the knee a little hug, if that feels good at any point, you can add that in. But I'm just going to keep rotating that hip, allowing it to be really free and easy. We'll do two more in that direction. Nice. Good. And then from here, finding a comfortable standing position, we're going to do those hip bumps side to side. So imagining there's a wall, and you're just going to slide your waistband to bump your hip into the wall, and then pull it back in. Little slide to the side, and pull back in. Just kind of watching here, making sure that it's still feeling good in your body. And then trying it to the other side. Again, if at any point none of this is working for you, you can stick to doing it on one side. Or you can skip the exercise altogether. Good. Let's go for two more. Bumping the hip, keeping weight on both feet. Last one. Good. And then you're going to find a squat stance. If you want to have a chair behind you for this, just for that sensation, you can grab it. If not, you can just sink down into whatever version of a squat feels good today, whatever depth is working for you. Hands can come to the thighs if you need support at any point. But if you don't need it, hands can reach out in front of you as that counterbalance. Yeah, just working those legs, feeling that as you drive through the floor, you're lifting up out of the ground. Last one. Good. And then we'll take it down to the floor. Coming onto hands and knees. And we're going to start with a donkey kick. One heel reaches up towards the ceiling, and then pull it back down. And so from here, you're really feeling that it's the thigh bone that's the thing that's moving. and you're keeping your back relatively stationary. It's gonna move a little bit, but your goal is to really think about opening that front of the hip and press the thigh bone away from you. Let's go for 2. Last one. And switch sides. Opposite knee. Pressing that heel up towards the ceiling and pulling it back down. Breath pattern, either direction is fine. I like an exhale as I press up. And an inhale as I come down. Hands are pressing. Elbow pits gently spinning forward. Nice, and then we'll take it out into that fire hydrant. One knee out to the side and back down. The goal here is not to get the knee as high as you can, but again, to try to think about balancing maybe a cup of water on your back and really reaching out with the kneecap to get that rotation of the hip. Let's go one more. And then swapping sides. Knee lifting out to the side. Trying to keep weight in both hands here. And trying to keep weight down into your toes as well. So press down into that standing shin. Good, last 2. And bring it all the way down. From here, make sure you have enough space behind you to reach that leg back. And we're gonna go opposite arm, opposite leg reach. Stretching out and pulling back in. I'm gonna go alternating sides here, but you're welcome to stay on the same side if you would prefer. Same idea. I don't really care what your back is doing, like what position it starts in, but once you find a spot that feels comfortable, trying to maintain that position as you move through the motion. Really thinking that, again, goal isn't height, the goal is the reach. So you're pushing out from your fist and from your heel. Nice. Let's go 2 more on each side. This one is feeling pretty good. Allowing those shoulders to get some range of motion here as well. Opening up through that back of the body. Good. And then from here, curl your toes under, and you're gonna push your butt up into your downward dog. Adjust your feet if you need to. Find that spot where you can start to drop your heels towards the mat. And then you're gonna bend your knees to push your chest further towards your thighs and straighten your legs. Bending your knees, push your chest, push your head through your biceps. Straighten and drop your heels. Last 2. And then once you're back in that full downward dog, pulling yourself into a plank position and taking however many push-ups here that you would like. I think I'm gonna do 5. Pulling your chest down towards your hands, pressing away. Once you've done however many you want, sit back into your child's pose. Take a breath or 2 there, reaching those arms along out in front of you. And then coming forward onto your stomach. Hands can rest underneath your forehead for support. And you're gonna bring one heel in towards your bum. Keep about a 90-degree angle at that knee. And you're just gonna let the leg windshield wiper side to side here. And this one is just a nice rotation in the hips. So allow things to stay pretty relaxed. Just allowing that range of motion and gravity to move you through here. Good. Swap sides. Opposite heel in towards your bum. Windshield wipering from side to side. Keeping things pretty fluid here. And linked in with your breath. And then straighten that leg out. We're gonna go for single leg lifts. One leg lifts up off the mat and then lowers down. I'm gonna alternate here, switching from side to side. And you're really thinking both legs are super active here. So I'm pressing down into the mat with my anchored leg, my stationary leg, almost as though if I were upright, I would be walking. So one leg would be pushing forward, the other would be pushing back. Like you're gonna split your thighs even though only one leg is moving. Both hip points stay relatively stationary here, gently pressing into the mat. And we'll do one more on each side. Good. Lower all the way down and sit it back into one more child's pose. Breathing nice and deeply into the back of the rib cage here. And coming on up. All right, so use that flow to get started in the morning. Remember, any of those exercises in isolation are fine to use as a tool to dial some discomfort down and use as a reset.